Wow, 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 wow. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. Coming at you with no eye makeup today, and that is because today I am reviewing the not new, but recently redesigned by Melolops Radioactive Eyeshadow Palette. And wait till you guys see this. It is so beautiful. Ready? I'm gonna do a live opening on camera. Ah, it's so vibrant and colorful. I've already opened it. I knew what it was gonna look like. That was not supposed to be my first reaction, but come on, like, come on, this is so beautiful. I'm so excited to use this today because I have not touched it. I have opened it, I have looked at it, I have admired it very much, but I have yet to test it on my eyes or even swatch it. So today I'm going to be giving you live swatches, and then I'm also going to be doing a little tutorial with these and trying them on my eyes, because we all know that swatches can be deceiving. Sometimes swatches look really nice and then you put them on your eyes and your eyes are like, no, 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 I don't like this. But I think my eyes are gonna like it because this is not my first time trying a product from by Melolops before. I have their radioactive waterliners and I am in love with them. And yes, I know love is a strong word, but I am in love with them, and I do wear them like every single day of the week. If you follow me on Instagram, you know for a fact that I do wear these like every single day. I love their water activated liners so much, so it was only a matter of time before I got the palette, because the palette actually has a bunch of corresponding shades that have the same shade names as what's in here. You can see there's like some similar colors in here, but obviously eyeshadow works very differently than graphic liners, so it's still gonna be totally fresh and totally new to me. Before I get into the swatches and everything, I do want to tell you a little bit about the brand, because I feel like in today's day and age there are so many makeup brands coming out every single day that it's cool to make decisions based off like who the brand owner is and what the company's all about. At least that's how I like to decide what brands that I buy from. So this is an indie brand. The person that started this brand is named Melodie Rodriguez. She's like 21 years old. She's either 20 or 21, and she has this whole makeup brand. She is so impressive and so cool, but it is a Puerto Rican owned brand. They are both vegan and cruelty free, and they ship worldwide. What more could you want? I know that when I reviewed the water inks, they were like out of stock, and everyone was like, how can they be out of stock? But please keep in mind, you guys, there is one person creating all of these products and producing them and shipping them herself. So try to be a little patient with the restock. She usually does one every couple of weeks. So if something's out of stock right now, then just go to their Instagram, turn on post notifications. She always gives you at least a couple weeks heads up of when a restock is coming. So definitely follow them on Instagram. I'll link all of their information down below. But for now, I think we should just get into the swatches, because I cannot wait to get my grimy little fingers on these shadows. All right, cue the montage of me swatching these eyeshadows. Alright, so that was all of the swatches. As you can see, I'll try to insert some pictures on the screen so that we can like look at them together without you just watching me look at my arm. So the first one, the yellow, I think I expected to be a little more neon just because I do have the water inks, and the yellow in here is like neon. But in the eyeshadow, it's not quite as neon, and I have to say, I kind of prefer that because this is a yellow that I would wear a lot more often than a neon yellow. So I'm totally fine with it not being neon. I did go over this one more than once just because I feel like it did kind of get washed out into my skin, and I wanted you to see the full pigmentation of the color. The purple one I also went over twice, but that's because I did not put enough on my finger. Like, there was just not enough there. But the purple packed a punch right away. I don't know if you saw my reaction. That was like a beautiful shade. Looks very much like the ultraviolet shade here. So I was happy to see that those colors were comparable. The red, stunning. What a beautiful red. I've never owned a red eyeshadow like this before. Packed so much pigment immediately. The black is incredible. You can tell it's like a really true black, not like a gray black that blends out into nothing. The blue is the same as my blue radioactive watering. So I was happy to see that those are the same shades because it did look a little darker in the pan, but this one does the same thing. It looks a little darker and then you put it on and you're like, oh, it's super vibrant and bright. This shade is probably gonna be my favorite. I love blue-green shades like this. What's this shade called? Element. Ooh, I'm in my element using the shade Element. I love this shade. It packs such a punch right away. The green was the only one that I definitely had to go through twice to get full pigmentation, but I definitely didn't think that one packed a ton of punch on its own, which is fine. Like, I went in with another layer and it was okay. The orange was super vibrant immediately, and then I did the shimmers on this side just because I was running out of space. This one, who gave them the right? Who gave by Melolops the right to make this shade that is everything I have ever wanted? It has like a blue, green, gold shift, like so beautiful. Oh my gosh. This silver is beautiful. I've never owned a silver eyeshadow before. I'm very excited to be here. And then this goldy yellow is fantastic. All of this to say, I am impressed very much so by the swatches and how they performed on my little armies, but now I think we should try them on my eyes. All right, so as you can very much see, I did put some setting powder under my eyes just because I felt like when I was swatching them, there appeared to be some fallout from my swatches, and I don't want to have to do my whole face over. If this were my everyday life and I were not filming for you here today, I would have done my eyes first. I'm overwhelmed. I want to use every single shade in here. How can I do that? How can I do that? I think what I'm gonna do is just try to give you a little bit of a rainbow moment here. I'm gonna try to use as many colors as possible because I want to show you how they all perform. I'm gonna start with red and I'm gonna put that here. So dipping in with this tiny little crease brush here. And let's just go right in. Ooh, okay. Wow, wow. It's so pigmented, oh my god. I only want to do a little bit of every color because I want to use as many as possible. Wow, I didn't even dip in again and that was like enough. Okay, that color was called Infrared, by the way, and now I'm gonna dip into Beam, this beautiful orange shade. Still tapping. So beautiful. Those blend together so nicely. It's like you barely dip in and you have so much product to work with. Wow. All right, so far these are blending absolutely beautifully. I haven't had any issue with patchiness at all, but the yellow will be a good test to see how good the formula is because yellows, I've been told, are very difficult to formulate. Let's see how they do on my eyes. So similar to how when I swatched this color, it doesn't pack the same punch that the first two colors did, but that's okay because it's not supposed to be a neon yellow and I'm happy to go in with the second layer and build it up. So let's see how that does. Wow, yeah, this is a 2-layer shade, but once you get that second layer, she is here to party. She is here to contribute to the look. It still blends beautifully. Wow! This is like not a look I usually go for. I usually go pretty wild with my graphic liners, but I don't usually go all that wild with my eyeshadows. This is fun. Every time I play with stuff from by Melolops, I'm like re-inspired, I'm reinvigorated, and it makes me want to play with makeup in a new way, and I think that's what makes this company so cool. Look at this. How can you have this image on the back of your palette and not just be incredibly inspired to play with color? Like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna dip into the color Slime, which as we saw on my arm, that one did take, like the yellow, that one did take 2 layers, so let's see if it takes that on the eye. Okay, yeah, I think this is gonna take 2 layers on the eye too, but that's totally fine because it's blending very nicely. It's not patchy at all. With a second application, I feel like that's exactly the color I would want on my eyes. Also, I haven't even noted yet, look at this. Have we even discussed how there's been no fallout and I was so afraid that I put an obscene amount of powder under my eyes? My under eyes are gonna be so dry, but I probably didn't even need to do that because I haven't had any fallout whatsoever yet. This is also usually the part of my eye where I get patchy just because like my eyebrow hairs are weird. They grow everywhere. I get a lot of hairs that grow down here, so usually if my eyeshadow is gonna get patchy, that's where it will get patchy, and I am not having that issue with these eyeshadows. Okay, I accidentally covered up some of that yellow with the green, so I am just gonna go retouch up that yellow real quick. Oh, it's so pretty. This look is so pretty so far. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna attempt to do this same sort of a shape on the bottom here. Maybe I'll switch brushes. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a more flat C-shaped brush like this. I'm gonna go into Element on the inner corner here and try to do the same sort of rainbow gradient that I did on the top. Oh my god, this shade. I have a feeling this is gonna be my favorite shade in the palette. It's so pretty. Wow, 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 wow. Let's take this up a little higher actually. These shadows really could not be patchy if they tried. They just are blending so effortlessly. And if I haven't mentioned thus far, I am not the best at blending. Blending is probably like my least talented part of my makeup abilities. I don't always do great with blending because I don't always have the best brushes to blend with, but these are just making it easy for me. All right, so now I'm gonna dip into Cosmic, which is this beautiful indigo looking blue shade. Is this indigo? I don't know. What is indigo supposed to look like? Yeah, look how beautifully those blend together. Like you can't even see where one starts and the other one stops. Okay, the look is starting to come together. I got a little nervous when I put that color on the inner corner. I was like, maybe I've made a huge mistake, but I think everything is actually fine and working out really well, so. Okay, now we are going to dip into the shade Ultraviolet. Purple is my favorite color, so of course we weren't gonna do this look without using the purple. What? Did you just see that? Oh my god. That was a literal stamp of color. I didn't even push that hard. I lightly tapped it and now I have a purple line. Ah. Purples are another shade that I have heard are really hard to formulate. Jackie Ina said that when she made her palette that has a bunch of purples in it. She said purples are really hard to formulate and really hard to get to blend nicely. So this is like a really good test of the formula. Wow, by Melolops really said, hard to formulate who? Hard to formulate what? Not us. We could never. This is beautiful. This is blending effortlessly. Wow, I feel like a beautiful bird. I feel like a peacock or something right now. I have impressed myself with this. By Melolops makes me feel like a real makeup artist. Like, you know how sometimes you use an eyeshadow palette and you're like, okay, that looks okay. I did the best I could, but I had a little trouble blending, but I guess this is fine. No, they make me feel like a real professional. Every time I use their products, I'm done and I'm like, oh, she is an artist. Put her in the Louvre, put her in the Met, put her somewhere where art goes because this is art, baby. This is so good. Oh wow, I'm not even done yet. I'm already giving my final thoughts. I gotta finish up this look. Let me see if I can't brush away some of this powder that I didn't even need because there was no fallout whatsoever. Not all colorful shadows are created alike because I actually used to have the James Charles palette and those had some fallout in them. Those did not perform like this. Those had some patchiness to them. You could make them work, but they definitely were not as effortless as these are. So don't get it thinking that you can just buy any colorful palette and they're all gonna perform the same way, because I'm telling you, this is the first colorful palette that I have ever purchased and not had to like work my butt off to actually make blend well. So like, okay, just let me stop saying my final thoughts before I finish. Okay, let's put some colors on the lower lash line. What colors? Oh, I know what I could do. Let's put pink on the lower lash line. Oh yes, this is what I've been waiting for. I have a few other pink shadows in my collection, but they're never as like vibrant as I want them to be, and this is as vibrant as I want it to be. Just trying to connect it to the top a little bit here. Wow, what a beautiful shade of pink. Oh my gosh, I took it a little more into the inner corner than I wanted to, but it's fine. All right, now I'm gonna take this beautiful shade Volt, the one you saw on my arm that looked all like blue and iridescent and perfect. Yeah, we're putting that on our inner corner. Do you see that? I'm this far away and you can see that. I wanna put this all over my face. I'm even taking it, oh god, I'm getting carried away here. I'm taking it a little bit onto that shade Element just because I feel like it's really gonna amp up that shade. Oh, and it did. Oh my god, this is so pretty. All right, before I get too carried away, let me go ahead and spray this down. Right, and we're just gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna put some lashes on. By lashes, I mean mascara, and then I'll come right back to give you my final thoughts. Hello, I have mascara on, and I also put on a little bit of lipstick, and I also put on a little bit of blush, which the blush in question is actually this pink shade called Atomic from the palette. So, no surprise, this is the best eyeshadow palette I've ever tried. Like, I don't even feel bad saying that. I'm not even exaggerating. I understand I'm a dramatic person. I understand that's maybe part of why you come to these videos, because you know that I'm just gonna scream about everything possible, but I swear to you, this is the best eyeshadow palette I have tried ever, because I just did an eyeshadow declutter, so I'm very familiar with my collection and what's in my collection and why I like and dislike everything, and this just came to the top. I still love my So Jaded palette, I still love my Jackie Aina palette, but if we're going off overall palette performance, I feel some type of way about this. Like, I really just feel like this performs so beautifully. It's made me feel like an artist. I said that when I did my review of the water inks. At the end of that video, I was like, oh my god, I'm inspired. This makeup is inspiring to me. It makes me want to do so many cool looks, and I feel exactly the same way about the Radioactive palette. Like, it was so user-friendly. Like I said, I think I mentioned this at one point in the video, but I'm not great at blending eyeshadow. That's like, I recognize that's a place where I have room to grow, but this just worked so well with me. I felt like we were collabing. I felt like me and this palette were working on a collab together, and we both love the end product, I think. At least I think. She likes it. She likes it too. We both like it a lot. I'm gonna end it here because I have a feeling you're gonna be seeing this palette in like every video ever from now on. I know I didn't use all the colors. The only colors I didn't use were Toxic, the black, the silver X-ray, and the goldy yellow light, but I'll be sure to use those in a future video, and all of those colors swatched really nicely. And I did try one of the shimmer formulas. I mean, you guys saw when I put Volt on my inner corner. That was an experience. That was an out-of-body experience for me when I put that color on my inner corner, so I have no doubt that the other shimmers are going to perform the same way, and I have no doubt that the black won't be an incredible black shadow because everything in this palette has been incredible, so how can everything else not also be incredible? I'm running out of breath. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a really good day today, and I had so much fun filming this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did filming it. If you have any interest in colorful makeup, or even if you haven't worn colorful makeup before but you're curious about it, start here. This will give you so much confidence because it'll work so well with you. It'll inspire you to create colorful looks. It'll inspire you to wear colorful looks in your everyday life. I love it so much. I don't know what to say. This was $25. I think that's incredibly reasonable considering that you get 12 incredible shades. Each of these colors offers a completely different vibe, a completely different experience. This is how you do a brights palette. This is exactly how you do a brights palette. I'm just gonna need every other brand to take note and to give by Melolops their check because they are the blueprint for bright colored shadows, and I won't hear anything else about it. So I thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to this far in the video, please subscribe. I make lots of goofy videos like this. I like to review lots of vibrantly colored makeup products. I love by Melolops. I'm probably gonna buy a bunch of more stuff from them now, so be on the lookout for that. Also, please check out my description box for a ton of Black Lives Matter resources, including petitions to sign, places to donate, and ways to help protesters. So please make sure you are staying informed about the Black Lives Matter movement and helping in any way that you can. And I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video.